Hello, welcome to our case study. Today we'll discuss the Lac-Mégantic rail disaster, focusing on the ethical issues, facts, events surrounding the disaster, and more. Lac-Mégantic was founded in 1884 and was positioned where the railroads Canadian Pacific Railway Company and the Quebec Central Railway Company met. The freight trains that passed through Lac-Mégantic were used for delivering raw materials and products to multiple factories. The town also served as somewhat of a tourist attraction, with people visiting to see Lake Mégantic. On July 12th, the night before the disaster, engineer Tom Harding was scheduled to leave the train on the track by Nantes to be conducted by another driver the following morning. Tom knew the train was experiencing some technical problems, one of which was the lead locomotive emitting an inordinate amount of smoke. Before Tom left for the night, he secured the train by adding multiple handbrakes on all of the locomotives. Tom also reported the difficulties the train had faced to his management, Montreal Main Atlantic Railway, who told him to leave the train where it was and deal with the issue in the morning. Tom then left for his hotel in Lac-Mégantic. At around midnight on July 13, 2013, a small fire started due to the poorly done repair job on the engine, causing it to fail. Thankfully, passing motorists noticed the fire and contacted local authorities, who, when they arrived at the scene, switched off the locomotives. After the fire was put out, the local authorities contacted MMA, who sent maintenance workers to deal with the repairs. Later, they confirmed that it was safe. The workers did not consider that since the locomotives were switched off, the air brakes would no longer work. This led to the air brakes losing air pressure as the train caught up to speeds of 105 km per hour, rolling freely down the track. Sometime down the track, the train derailed at a level crossing close to Lac-Mégantic. Unfortunately, 47 people were killed in the chaos, alongside 40 buildings and 53 vehicles. 31 hectares of land were contaminated by the crude oil. MMA was blamed for being too lenient in terms of safety protocols. Regarding the ethical issues, Tom Harding and the Montreal Main Atlantic Railway were too careless in terms of the safety protocols before leaving the train. Tom should have been more diligent when it came to checking the handbrakes, trying them with and without the air brakes to ensure that it was sufficient to halt the train's movement. The maintenance team for MMA is best described as relaxed when it comes to their inspections. First, a poor engine repair job led to the initial fire. Then, a train with locomotive switch off was deemed as safe to be left unattended. MMA used outdated tankers and ignored safety concerns. All these things led to the disaster. Following the disaster came a set of challenges MMA had to overcome, being to overcome the fear that they had put in people and gain their trust, to compensate for the family members who had been affected by the disaster, and to rebuild the downtown area, which was tarnished by the fire, destroying houses, shops, libraries, and other buildings, which amounted to 40 buildings. The ethical responsibilities of the Montreal Atlantic Railway in relation to this case is to ensure the engineer's safety and the maintenance of the train, meaning through inspections, to ensure that the appropriate policies are in place for when the train is at rest, as in proper safety protocols before abandoning the train, and to ensure repairs are inspected at scheduled times, making sure that everything is operative and will not give in to failure. The ethical issues, challenges, and/or dilemmas faced by the MMA Railway were that they had to cope with the financial loss created by the devastating disaster, leading them to lay off many employees. They had to revise the poor policies they had enforced for better safety protocols, and to take the legal responsibilities for the 47 victims' loved ones alongside the damages they caused. Moving forward, MMA Railway should look into implementing better policies to ensure that the train is functioning properly, conducting immediate investigations when there is an issue regarding the train's safety. They should also create an alert system within the train to notify MMA Railway if any potential abnormalities about the train. Regarding the deontology of this case, the engineers and repair team should have better understood the equipment they were using. Doing so would have minimized the repairs needed in the future. In addition, the MMA Railway maintenance team should not have been so relaxed when doing the inspections on the train. They should have thoroughly inspected all parts of the train, which would have avoided unnecessary damages, being the initial fire. The MMA Railway should have reinstated stricter safety protocols and training. Doing so would have prevented the disaster. Out of all the different approaches, option number 1 is the most ethical choice for the Montreal Main and Atlantic Railway to follow. This is because it allows the engineers to be trained well enough to make sure that the problems are solved immediately and promptly before the disasters can occur. Having more safety checks would allow the engineer to apply more handbrakes, thus preventing the problem of the train sliding down the rails due to the off air brakes.